certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
Oh my God, welcome. What? It's the Steel Toe Evening Show. I'm Aaron, and you're so happy to be here. You can't believe it. You're shitting your pants. You're so excited. And I tell you what, I appreciate it. What a day. It's been a nice one, man. Been nice and easy Monday. The morning show went great. Johnny's back tomorrow. Went to the gym after the show. I went to the gym and there was some new guy there. Some new guy who's been he's been boxing for about a month now. And like he talks to himself when he's doing like heavy bag rounds. Like usually if you're doing heavy bag rounds, you're just working on some stuff. You got a combination you want to try, you got a punch you want to work on, you know, whatever. You got some defensive stuff you want to. This guy, he's in the far ring that has a heavy bag in it. I'm just at one of the heavy bags. I'm clear across the gym. And I think this guy's talking to me. And he's going like, you ain't tired. You got another one. You can. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, it's the fucking rest period. I'll be going in a second. And then, so I get done. I do my 10 rounds and I'm going over and I'm taking my gloves off. I'm taking my wraps off. I'm going to the weight area, and I hear him go, he's like, you ain't tired. You got another one in you. You got this. You don't need to quit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I look over. He's fucking talking to himself. Like, I don't know if he's got headphones in or what, but he's shouting rather loudly at himself at, like, how many heavy bag rounds he's going to do. And I don't know if that's just him psyching himself up. I don't know if he wants people to notice. And he wants people to, like, you know, look at him. I don't know. But I know at the end he went, oh, that's 15 rounds. I'm like, okay, I think this guy he might want a little bit of attention. Because he's been going for like a month. And he was trying to tell me and this other guy, he and I have both been there for a few years. And he's trying to tell both of us about what guards we should be using. He's like, oh, man, big man. You need to use a long guard. If you use a long guard, you'll be like, I'm like, I do sometimes. Sometimes I use a long guard. Sometimes I use a shell. Sometimes I use a traditional guard. I mean, I switch it up. Oh, yeah, but the long guard, you see, the good thing about that is, and like me and Josiah is the other guy. Me and Josiah are looking at each other. We're just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And it's just, like, there's some people at the gym that are just weird, or maybe I'm weird, but like when I go, I just want to go. I want to get my work in. If I see somebody I know, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 you know, move on. But like, there's some people, there's like the grunters. Everybody hates the grunters. Anybody who's like you're taking a shit. Like, take some fucking weight off the thing if that's how you're going to behave. Like they're Sylvester Stallone in fucking, well, I flipped the switch like this. The arm wrestling movie. Over the top. The grunters and the shouters are the absolute worst. It's like, bro, how about 25 pounds less on that machine or on that bar and you'll be aces. He's got to put that extra, I got to push myself, bro, for the gains. It's like, all right, when you tear your fucking bicep, don't come crying to me. I mean, do they work harder than me in the gym? 1,000%. 1,000%. I don't know. I don't even bother stretching. I'm just like, 15 minutes in the sauna, I'll loosen up. But then I talked to Scott, and Scott was so excited today. Scott was glowing this morning when I went into the gym. He goes, I got something for you. You got to hear this. And he played for me 3 voicemails that he got from an Onion guy that was so incensed about the ruse that we pulled on them. He was so incensed that he got had that, and I guess just doesn't have a life outside of the internet. He left 3 messages in 7 minutes. He's like, I want to talk to Aaron. I want to talk to Aaron right now. Scott, you have to let me talk to Aaron. He's a piece of shit. And Scott just looks at me like he always does. And he goes, what kind of sad lives do these people have? And I go, I looked at him. I go, how do you feel? And he goes, it's too easy. I said, thank you. That's exactly how I feel about it. It's too easy. So Scott was feeling good today about his accomplishments, if you will. The gym was a lot of fun. I heard Gino was going off today. I listened to some of Gino's show before this one, and I tell you, when Gino gets something right, when Gino knocks something out of the park, he likes to let people know about it. And I empathize. I do the same thing from time to time. But Gino, he was on one today, boy. He was on one. And it was nice. He called me. Well, I'm sitting in the sauna. He calls me and he goes, hey, do you mind if I post this thing, the subpoena thing from your case? And I was like, yeah, there's nothing you could, yeah, that's fine. He goes, oh, that won't hurt you in any way? I'm like, I'm fucking pled guilty. Like, I beat the felony, crushed the felony, admitted to the thing I did, and we're done. Like, I just have the sentencing thing. Speaking of which, I got a call from probation today. And probation scheduled, the pre-sentencing interview. I got that scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. I'm really excited about that. I have to say, I cannot say enough how kind, and I know that sounds weird, but how kind Stearns County has been. They're just so professional. Like, at no point did any of this feel personal. It just always felt like people were doing their jobs, and we came to an agreement that we all were happy with, that we all liked, that I felt held me accountable for what I did, but also the punishment was such that it kind of acknowledged that, look, maybe this fell into our lap a little bit. It's a little played up. It's maybe a little ridiculous, but by the, what did we say? The letter of the law, I did that thing. Totally fine. All's well that ends well, right? Well, this probation person calls, and she was really nice. She was joking with me, and we set the thing for 1:00. And I did talk to someone today. They're like, well, they were probably trying to disarm you and get your guard down. I'm like, well, I understand that, but I don't really have anything to hide. Like, I've admitted what I did. I'm very sorry. I even told her, I'm like, I'm sorry that this is taking up time in your day. I'm sorry that what I did has caused people to have to work, because of the caseload. How do I know that there's county workers who didn't work overtime and like miss time with their kids and miss time with their families because I had to be a fucking dipshit because I was in my feels? Like, why? That's a shitty thing to do. That's me kind of being a pain in the ass. But yeah, the whole deal was just kind of like, it's coming to an end. It feels like something's coming, because it's like it's coming in for a smooth landing. Everything's just kind of wrapping up real nice. I see that Gino and Keanu are very much bragging at people who were wrong about them having to come in and do their thing. They're joking about how, I still haven't been served. Don't know where that's coming from. The whole deal. It was, they're enjoying themselves. Put it that way. Let's thank a few people and then let's get down to business today. We got to talk about the Shannon Sharpe thing. We've got crazy white ladies. We've got Paul Heyman went on ESPN today. He went on Pat McAfee's show, and I swear to God, he got at least 4 people fired. I mean, right out of the gate, he's going after the Shannon Sharpe thing. If you didn't see, Shannon Sharpe has been sued for the R word, as we have to say on YouTube, for graping, because we're not adults and we can't just say the word. But he's being sued for that. And forgive me and my toxic masculinity, but I feel like sometimes if I come out and say things, other people feel comfortable saying it. So allow me to just say, if you've been R'd, or not if you've been R'd, I'm sorry. If you've been R'd, that's fucking horrible. You should do whatever you can. But if you're claiming that a very famous person R'd you, and you're pressing civil, not criminal charges, I'm far more skeptical of your claim. Maybe I shouldn't be. Again, maybe that's my toxic masculinity talking, but as a toxic white male, I have to say, when you go for money before justice, I ain't buying it. You know, there's part of me that just goes, this is a shakedown. And also, this lawsuit came right after the announcement that Shannon Sharpe was signing a $100 million deal. It doesn't sit right. Thank you, Adam, for starting us off tonight by gifting a membership. Appreciate it. Chevmatic with $1. And he's right. I'm sorry. He's got a good point here. He says, hey, asshole. That's all a comment. He's right. He says, hey, asshole, how about a spoiler alert the next time you decide to talk about a WWE pay-per-view less than a day after it occurs? I'm sorry. I never watched them. And now my kids are back into wrestling, or my kids are into wrestling, so now I'm back into wrestling, so I'm not used to watching them. I just figure everybody knows right away, so I got a little excited and I talked about it. My bad. Red Fox Mad with $4.99 says it's time for the Steel Toe Morning Show, all about the Pope of the Catholic Church. Who will be the new Pope? Mr. Sarah? I don't know who that is, but I will say this. I just hope that the next Pope is a Christian. You know, I know we experimented with this communist, revisionist, Jesuit thing. Not good. I don't think it was good. I hope that the next Pope is Catholic. You know, it used to be a question, you know, like does a bear shit in the woods? You know, if you were, you know, basically answering someone's question with duh, you'd say, does a bear shit in the woods? One of the things you would say is, the Pope Catholic? Well, it feels like for the last 20 years or so, the Pope ain't exactly been Catholic. So whoever they pick next time, it ought to be like an old school fucking follow the rules, go by the book Catholic, you know? Because I think the world needs that. I think the world needs a little, and you know me, I'm not exactly a religious person, but I think the world needs a little Old Testament Christianity. I think it needs some like old school, you know, some shame. And some, you know, bringing us back to Jesus a little bit, bringing us back to God a little. We've just become too libertine. We've become too gross. We've become too disgusting. And I think it's time for a little bit of a spiritual awakening, if you will. Julius with $5 said, I asked Nick if he hacked your email. He said no and proceeded to have a 1,000-yard stare. I think he missed you. You don't think that everything he does is about missing me? He just wants to be close. People with the mental illness that Nick has, people with the brain breakage that Nick has, cannot handle being told no. And I told him no, and I've been telling him no for over a year now. And it has so very clearly broken his brain. That and the events of the last year. So I do not, and by the way, he is, I mean, even the stuff you don't think he's lying about, he turns out to be lying about. Like that renting that place for April in Wilmer there that he doxed the other night. Dude, somebody's got to step in and stop that shit because that's dangerous. I'm telling you, like, I know the parties involved. People aren't safe. Like, that. somebody could end up getting fucking hurt. These are not stable people. These are crazy people. And, it'll be another. I mean, I've been full of I told you so's with that guy. I've been trying to, teach him the way, teach him the light. He doesn't listen. He learns the hard way. I get it. I have too. But there's going to be another I told you so coming. And I'm wondering, I'm like, when's his luck going to run out? And they're not going to be painful, because none of his lessons have been particularly painful. I mean, physically painful. They're going to be at some point. He has pissed off a lot of people. His entire community fucking despises him. One half of his whole family hates his guts. And he's going to turn more of them. And like, again, you're playing with fire, dude. You're playing with a crazy person. And you're telling them shit that you're never going to do. And you're keeping them locked in a home. You're telling people you don't even know where they are. That turned out to be a lie. I mean, bro, you're not smart enough or cool enough to handle this. You're a nerd, and this is going to come back to get you. I mean, look, again, hate to say I told you so, but like shit like this for dumb guys and dorks like you, this ends up with hurt for sure. Joe Rogan with $2 says, so Nick is gay in love with you. I don't even know if it's necessarily gay. I think it's just obsession. I mean, look at me. I'm the ultimate male. Thank you, Joe Rogan. I appreciate it. By the way, thank you guys very much. You guys are wonderful. 90 away from 90's the number today. Easy peasy, Japanesey. Thank you very much. $90 away from today. Appreciate it. Boy, these are all just mean. Jesus, Sam Show, Miss Tay. This is oof. I mean, I look, I don't hope that it ends this way. I don't have a dog in the fight. It's very interesting as a soap opera. But that would be an interesting ending, Sam Show. That's for sure. What a busy night it is tonight. You got, I mean, Steel Toe is all over the place. We're here. Jesse PS is going to be doing a show tonight. He told me, I'm going to be doing a show about your new studio setup. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, aren't I the fucking talk of the town? And then tonight's also the Raw after WrestleMania. I think the Kino Casino is on tonight. I should have just taken the night off. The landscape is too busy with all these big events going on. By the way, if you're not a wrestling fan, the Raw the day after WrestleMania is usually fucking wild. It's usually pretty crazy. Sam Show says, Aaron, it's a Lifetime movie. You love those. That's true. It is kind of like a Lifetime movie. Somebody today shared with me their theory that this might be setting up to have a Lifetime type, like, violent ending. Like, that might be the plan. Like, oh boy, that's a little dark. But I can see it. I get it. I understand. Good to see you, Dark Side Aaron. Good to see that I still trigger the shit out of you and you still come by to see that. I appreciate that. It always makes me feel like I'm doing my fucking job and I'm kicking ass and taking names when you show up and try to get Daddy's attention. I do appreciate it. Thanks for being here, buddy. Love you. It wouldn't be the same without you. All right, guys, let's get down to some shit, shall we? Let's start in the UK. I got a crazy white lady a little bit who's mad at you guys. There's a crazy white lady with far too many tattoos. She's mad at all of you for not doing more to defend immigrants. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you have been derelict in your duty to protect third world immigrants. And there is a white woman in what looks like a dorm bedroom with mushroom tattoos all over her arms who wants to let you guys know that she's ashamed of you as white people. And look, I don't mean to bring the mood of the room down. I don't mean to make you guys feel like shit, but she thinks that you guys ought to support these poor migrants a little more. And, I mean, I guess maybe you do have to ask yourself, am I doing enough? Oh, by the way, Red Fox mad with $4.99. Yes, the Klaus Schwab news. I think we've got that for tomorrow. There's a couple things. If you send it in today, just know that we're doing it tomorrow. The Klaus Schwab thing, we covered it a little bit this morning. We're going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. But then also the Kanye thing. I know people are going to ask me to cover the Kanye thing. If you don't know, and we'll cover this more in depth tomorrow, Kanye admitted that he sucked his cousin's dick when they were teenagers. So South Park, maybe a little too on the nose with the gay fish thing. It was uncomfortable to read, but Ye decided that he was going to tweet that out today, that he was going to admit that a song on his album was about his cousin who's they did gay shit together. I present that to you without comment. We'll get into it tomorrow. I wanted to talk about that with Johnny. We'll get to that and the Klaus Schwab thing. Yeah, Roots's response was just simply, "What the fuck?" It's kind of what I thought too. Brett Mack says, "I just found out iDubbbz took his wife's last name." I learned that too. I didn't know that until like this weekend. That iDubbbz legit took his wife's last name, which we can be as advanced and like next level and like we're evolved and we're new age and all that. You're always going to be gay for taking your bitch's last name. Like you're always going to be, it's always going to be a thing you get made fun of for, because that's a fucking bitch move. Even hyphenating is gay. She takes your last name or you don't get married. I mean, like Brett Mack says, that's a step backwards to bitchness. If she doesn't want to take your last name, you guys don't want to get married that bad. Just keep fucking each other. Just keep dating if she's not going to take your last name. But you taking her name? Jesse Lee Peterson would like to have a talk with iDubbbz because he's beta. Deutsch Chad says that's why Kanye and Nick Fuentes get along so good. You know what? It makes a lot of sense now that you mention it. Ye and Nick Fuentes get along so well because of Kanye's past of sucking dicks and Nick Fuentes' present and future of sucking dicks. They combine the timeline. It's perfect. McBuster says iDubbbz is almost as forgettable as Ethan Klein or Bert Kreischer. Oh, I don't know. I think these guys kind of have like there's an interesting kind of vibe about them with some of this shit. I don't mind that. I think that some of that stuff can be very, very interesting. Chevmatic. Yeah, I think this was Turk who said this in Scrubs. He goes, "You don't have to take my name, baby. We'll just have one of those modern relationships where the husband and wife don't love each other." I mean, it's accurate. It's totally true. Deutsch Chad says iDubbbz was a legend at one point. Generic woke piece of shit now. Like, I kind of understand the iDubbbz thing. Like, I understand him not wanting to be a 22-year-old edgy boy forever and ever and ever. I get that part. What I don't get is why does that mean that the default has to be you go be a complete PC, like far left of center bitch? Like, why do you hate yourself so much that you just try to be the exact opposite of everything? That's a little too far, I think. Again, I get it. He's like, oh, I said the N-word and gay F-word, and that's not me anymore. All right, that's fine. But you don't have to put a strap-on on your wife and suck her rubber dick. You don't have to take her last name. Like, bro, you don't owe a penance. You said the N-word a few times. You're going to be fine. I still say the N-word a few times, mostly in traffic. You know where I never say it? The golf course. Ah, what a peaceful place. It got nice enough today. I was walking out of the gym today, and I was like, maybe, possibly, nah. And then tomorrow I've got my pre-sentencing interview with the probation people. Otherwise, tomorrow it's looking perfect for golf. I think I'm going to stay off the course this weekend, though. I think I'll stay off the course, and I'll wait. There's plenty of golf yet to be played. But I had that killer round last Wednesday or Thursday. And it's just, I shot a 9-hole 41. It's one of my best scores ever. And I just can't get the fact that I was chipping well out of my head. Let's go to Root. You know, Roots, wiser words have never been spoken. You can't unsuck a dick, Kanye. It's a fact. That's a fact. 191 Redbird with $2 says, you do not want to go down this road. I go down any fucking road I want. You know why? Because it's the internet. They're all gay. It's my show. I'm in charge. I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want. And people can feel however they want to. But you know what the fact of the matter is? They all react to me. Without me, there's nothing. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Before me, there were many. After me, there will be none. So I will go down whatever road I want to. And guess what? You will follow. Boy. You know, the N-word would have really punctuated that rant. Probably with an A at the end would have been the best one to use. Royston S. Bailey with $2 says, Ye's likely omnisexual, would do bestiality too. I mean, it's kind of fun to just come up with bullshit without any premise for it, isn't it? Isn't that kind of what these talk shows are all about? Just throw shit out there. Hey, you think this is true? Who gives a fuck? Say it. It's always been my attitude. And go ahead and Google my name. It's never gotten me in trouble. Imholt then said, quote, your boy didn't do too bad, did he? It's, you know, you say things is what I'm saying. Let's go to Kloppo. He says, Aaron, when are you telling us what Monty wanted? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Montygraph sent me a DM today. He has something he's debuting. He has some video he's debuting about Steel Toe that he wanted me to see. He goes, I think you'll love it. I think you'll want to use it and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much. Very cool. I like Monograph. I do. I don't have a lot of interactions with him, but I like the guy. Seems like a decent enough bloke. Oh, shit, that's right. He's got that Nick lawsuit, and that's going to trial this year. Oh, so it ain't over yet. Oh, shit, man, I'd go to jail just to avoid all that shit this year. Just can't go on my Montygraph civil suit if I do a bunch of fucking blow and booze and end up in prison. Take that 21-month sentence they wanted. Perfect. I can get out of the Montygraph thing. See, that's called next level thinking. That's that smart shit. Miss Tay with $20, and she does not want credit for it at all. In fact, she wants to give it to Gray Duckling. All right. Hulk Hogan. We coming for you, nigga. Thank you very much. So that puts, does that put Gray Duckling on top of the heap? Yes, it does. Gray Duckling is now in first with $55. Miss Tay, you little manipulative so-and-so. That puts K-Rod in second with 50. Riding Dirty Llama tied for second and third with 50. Flinty Gecko in fourth with $40. Thank you guys very much. What a generous start to the week you kids are having. Thank you very much. Redbird with $5 says, and that response style is why you have idiots balanced on the edge of a bridge. LOL, keep it up. Like, if you don't think I know how to do this shit better than any of these fools following me do, because I did it professionally for years. They're miles ahead of all of them. And like my secret, I've given them my secret. My secret is this: do your show, get offline, go live your life. And guess what this can then be? A performance. That's why none of you can hurt me. That's why none of you can get to me, is because I'm sorry to give away the game. This is a hologram. I ain't real, motherfucker. I'm just your dream or your nightmare, depending on how you view me. I am just the projection of what you need to see at that time. This ain't Aaron Imholt is not here. The Steel Toe guy is here. And the Steel Toe guy finds out exactly what needles you or pokes you or prods you, and he twists that wrench. And if you love me, I know what you like, and I give you the old, right? Thank you, Redbird. Redbird gets it. They say we don't have smart fans. How fucking dare you? Root says you are such a douchebag. See? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Let's go to, oh yes, and again, thank you, Miss Tay. I appreciate that. Atomic Ray says you cannot grow grass as well as Tiger Woods. Just keep sitting in that golf cart. I don't know what the fuck that means, but thank you. Nova says free speech, use it or lose it. You got it, buddy. You got it. Let's go to Fauci's Pangolin says, I think a $50 drop should get a white-nosed Nick jerking off. Can somebody please, that's a great idea. Victor or somebody, could you get the clip of Nick's like, the Coke stream whacking off thing? Could you get that for us? And that'll be the $50 drop. That's a great idea. Wow. Nice work, Fauci's Pangolin. Chef Maddock with $1 says, was laughing my ass off during the Thursday show as you struggled to hit the goal and regretted not taking us up on your offer to buy the morning show's time. I remember that because I was telling you guys, no, we're not going to take the morning show's time. You guys like, are you sure? And then, of course, we ended up fucking hitting the thing anyway. It's been no beg for 3 weeks now. Been killing it. So we did end up making it work. Let's continue on. I think we're all okay. We're all caught up. Good. Miss Tay says, she says that never gets old. It really doesn't. It doesn't. It never, ever gets old. It's always funny. It never goes out of style. It's like your favorite jeans. $75 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Very, very early on. Hulkamasha Baby says, was he jerking or was he getting blown? Did we ever nail that down? I mean, he says he was sticking his thumb into an open sore in his leg, but he fucking lies about everything. So assume it's the exact, like as far opposite as you can get from that. I'd believe he was jamming his thumb up his own ass for satisfaction before I'd believe that bullshit story that lying, coked out retard came up with. So no. He has come up with an explanation. But then again, it's kind of like his daughter testing positive for coke. It's like the story of how that happened has changed numerous times. I was the guilty party at one point, and then he realized how fucking dumb that was, and he changed it to something else. It just depends on which day of the week. You see, when you have your brain damaged from drug and alcohol abuse, it's really hard to remember your lies. Just tell the truth, and then you don't need a good memory, as they say. Okay. Roots says he wants to go on the golf outing. Roots, come on the golf outing. Go ahead. Do your golf outing. Come on out to our golf outing and take part in it. It's gonna be fun. All right, let's go to the UK with this one. Do you remember that clip we played of that Englishman who told some guy to speak English? They were just, hanging out in London. I actually got a few DMs from some Englishmen after we covered this story. They were kind of letting me know about how things work in London. And one guy was writing me about the Masons and all. Like, it was really wild shit. And apparently the police didn't see this guy tell someone to speak English. It's even worse than that. Apparently, the Nigerian-born mayor of the town he lives in called the police to report that this guy told somebody that they should speak English. Now, forgive me for being controversial. It's not my brand. But if you are in, and try to follow me on this, if you're in England, what's wrong with just speaking English? Like, it probably makes more sense for you to speak English in England than it does in America. And it certainly makes sense for you to speak English in America. England, English, it's tough because it's not spelled exactly the same, England, English, but it's close enough where we should be able to figure it out. Well, apparently the cops did not catch this guy doing this. The Nigerian mayor of the town he lives in said, first of all, he offered the cops a new car warranty, which I thought was nice. Politeness. If you've got it to offer it to a friend. And why not our friends in law enforcement? And then after that, he ratted the guy out and said, yes, I would like to report that there is a man telling people to speak English. It is a terrible thing. And you know what's funny is the mayor probably reported the guy in English. I don't think he was habuki buki. I don't think that's how he was telling the cops. By the way, habuki buki does mean, can you tell me where the library is in Nigerian? I don't mean to flex on you guys. I don't mean to appear more educated than I am, but year and a half of Nigerian in high school. I know a couple of things. So it turns out that Sydney Imafidon, the Tory mayor of Wisbech, personally phoned police to report a partially deaf old man for a so-called hate crime. Dude, if you're an old retiree, what really do you have other than like sitting on a bench feeding ducks, golfing, and yelling at people to speak English in your country? Like, that's the top 3 activities for old white men. This came after he allegedly tried to have a Reform UK stall removed. The Tories are now using woke police to silence opposition. This is the guy. The cops came over to him, and they had to shake him down and question him.
If you do, that would be really handy for us. But apparently, during some conversations between yourself, apparently you have alleged, we weren't here, so I don't know you said it, but you.
Okay, now see, here's where I said, "Oh, you weren't here." Yeah, then I never said that. What? Well, I never said that. You said you weren't here. You didn't hear me say it. I never said it. And then, okay, I checked on it. We can go now. This is so stupid.
You've alleged to say, speak English, or what's that effect?
Speak clearly.
Speak clearly.
No,
Okay.
the gentleman's partially deaf.
Yeah, he can speak clearly.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even hear him.
No, and that's fine, and that's why we've just come to speak, because potentially someone could perceive that as a hate crime.
Shove it up their ass. I don't give a shit if they perceive it as a genocide. Fuck that. Like, when did we have to start pandering to the retarded? And by the way, kind of fuck this guy too. Like, the English, you guys go ahead and laugh at this. They're stealing your culture from you. Your culture that predates us, predates a lot of cultures around the world. They're stealing it from you, and you're just sitting there laughing. Yeah, it's really ridiculous, but you've been giving this shit away forever. And I will call out that Daryl Cooper guy. That Daryl Cooper and Tucker Carlson are kind of wrong on this. They like to blame Churchill for, like, the fall of the empire. You study history for more than 5 minutes. Winston Churchill was an empire guy. Winston Churchill was like an old school colonialist. It was the people who opposed Churchill that were like, no, our white colonialism is bad. Right after they threw Churchill out of office, they gave India away. They gave away a big chunk of the British Empire's population by just freeing India. Churchill didn't do that. So this idea that this revisionist history that Churchill was this anti-imperialist could not be more wrong. But like guys like this, like, oh, I'm laughing at this. It's not a laughing thing anymore. You guys got to get your fucking culture back, man. It's gone. When the pub becomes a mosque, you can keep laughing. Joe Rogan says, 1.5 years Nigerian high school. Cool, dude. Thank you for that $2. I was totally serious about taking Nigerian in high school. And buka buka does mean, can you point me in the direction of the library? I didn't lie about any of that shit.
Did we just know this was going to happen?
No, people, if someone says to me, officer, I believe this, then we need to look at it because someone's potentially reporting to me.
That's where the American cops have it all over the English bobbies, man. I mean, our cops are like kneeling on people and fucking killing them and doing all kinds of based shit and tasing people. The English are like, oh, I heard you say a mean word. Did you know that if you say a mean word to somebody, that could hurt their feelings? And we could end up having to charge you with a hate crime. We could. Here in America, it's like, don't fucking talk to me. Get out of the car, you fucking bleep. Hold on, can I just finish my sandwich? And then it's like, all right, I'm going home to dinner. See you guys later. I guess the EMTs will clean this up. They just fucking kill a guy. America's still got it figured out. England's falling apart, but we're still just capping people and kneeling on them and kicking them and macing them. Our cops are still fucking cool and based. English cops are all gay and retarded. No, I just, but in all seriousness, that country's fucked. They really are. Roots Calhoun, Crack Amico said it best. Everybody British, a motherfucking gay F word. Pert much. Let's see. We got sad state of affairs. Fauci's Pangolin says, I say speak English to every zombie I see in Brooklyn Park Tuesday and Fridays. Don't be careful in fucking Crooklyn Dark, dude. You're going to get punched in the fucking head. Something. Don't get too, I didn't say get like all the way brave. Yeah, I like to go to North Minneapolis and just yell the N-word out my car window. It's like, well, I hope you're on the freeway. We don't have to get like all the way hardcore with this shit. Roots says the Minnesota Wild have the second nicest jerseys in the NHL. Blackhawks are best. Really? Better than the Red Wings? All right. Okay. I was going to say I think the Predators have really nice jerseys, but I realized that wouldn't come off very well. Royston S. Bailey with $2 says English millennials and younger hate their own country. That's sad, man. That's really, really sad. $70 away from this evening. Thank you guys very much for how generous you've been. Such nice people. Let's go to Brian. He says Churchill wasn't the hero history books like to portray him as. Okay, we can have that conversation. You know, I think Daryl Cooper's argument is that, well, Churchill could have had peace with Hitler and it would have saved millions of lives. Okay, maybe. Could have made peace with Hitler. But then Hitler becomes the predominant power on the continent, and how many lives is that going to cost? I know they're Slavs, but still technically people. So I don't even buy this argument that Churchill caused the loss of more lives. In the short term, yes. In the long term, well, okay, you know what? I'll give you this. It did make the Soviets the main power in Eastern Europe, and that killed a fuck ton of people. I think you're damned if you do, damned if you don't on World War II. Whether it was the Nazis or the commies, somebody was going to kill tens of millions of motherfuckers. They were going to do bad shit. Not everyone is the same. Like the West is not as bad as Germany and Russia was. You know, we had our problems, we had our faults, but you can't compare us to the Nazis or the communists. And Churchill was the one who came up with Operation Unthinkable. He's the one like, let's go smoke the commies now. Hey, he was a wartime leader. You want peace, don't go to Churchill. And by the way, the British tried it the anti-Churchill way. They tried to do things Neville Chamberlain's way, and they threw the motherfucker out and put Winston Churchill in there. It's not like he lied to them and said, I will make peace. He literally said, we'll fight in the fields, we'll fight in the cities, we'll never surrender. I mean, you got what you paid for with Winston Churchill. Nova says 1D Antword video and Aaron speaks African. I fucking hate that band, and I hate that song that you guys sent me. Tim the Toolman Taylor says, our cops shoot burnt toast. Well, it shouldn't have been in the fucking toaster that long. Shouldn't have been in the toaster so long, man. Klopogram says, are we the baddies? I don't think so. I don't think we were the baddies. Renegger says they should have left Hitler alone. No, I'm sorry, man. I can't go with that one. We should have left Hitler alone. I tend to take the guy at his word. Oh, God damn it. Oh, no, not this. Thank you, Vidam, for the $5. It's very nice of you. You want the real bad guy of World War II? I'll give you the bad guy of World War II, and this is a bit of a reach. Woodrow Wilson. We should have never gotten involved in World War I. We should have, the way they try to make the Germans in World War I out to be the bad guys of that war is such fucking horseshit. That was very much that was a very shades of gray war, if you will. And like, if I watched a documentary recently, what's that YouTube channel that was really good? Is it PAX History or something like that on YouTube? And he was walking through like how bad America fucked up by getting involved in World War I, and how the banking interests were stop it. The banking interests were lending shitloads of money to the British and French, and they wanted to get paid back. So the banking interests in this country lobbied the government and tried to pull us into the war on the side of the British and French, because the bankers had so much debt from those countries, and if they lost the war, they weren't going to be able to pay it back. So they lobbied Woodrow Wilson to get involved, and eventually we did. And they talk about, oh, the Germans in submarine warfare. Motherfucker, did you know that Churchill, when he was the head of the Admiralty, that Churchill was flying British ships under false flags, neutral country flags, so he could ship armaments past a German blockade. The British set up the blockade and killed millions of German civilians. And then when the British tried shipping armaments to the front line, the German U-boats would intercept them. So the British started putting them on passenger cruise ships. That's why the Lusitania got sunk, is because they had thousands of tons of armaments that were being smuggled on the Lusitania. It was a legitimate military target. Like, look, as much as I'll shit on Germany for World War II, Germany gets way too much blame for World War I. And when it comes to what the sneaky shit the British, the Royal Navy did during the war to try and get us to jump in, it's really shitty. Like they would store the armaments on passenger cruise ships. They would fly under false flags. And they would also do this thing where they'd surrender to German U-boats just so they could see where the U-boat would surface, and then they'd blow it up. As the U-boat came to accept their surrender and take prisoners, they'd fucking blow up the U-boat. The British were fucking dirty in World War I. And let's not forget, the Germans didn't declare war on the British. The British declared war on them. So when it comes to America's involvement in World War I, it's not so much that, we were the good guys and we went to help the good guys. It was the banking interests in this country were lobbying Woodrow Wilson to get in because they wanted to get paid by the British and French. And then you have the Balfour Declaration, which handed Israel over to the Zionists and told these Arabs, go fuck yourselves. Told these Muslims, yeah, I know you've been living here forever and all that shit, but the Ottoman Empire's done, Jack. Get the fuck out. We're giving this to the Jews. And that hasn't had repercussions for years and years and years. And then, of course, let's not forget the easy one, how the Treaty of Versailles ended up causing World War II by placing undue blame and financial punishments on the Germans. I'm going to argue that if America would have come in on the German side, that the world might be a better place today. There would be no Hitler, probably no Stalin. The USSR would not have become as powerful as it did. You wouldn't have the Israel-Palestine problem. Yeah. And the United States would probably still be the main power in the world. And you avoid World War II, which is nice. Royston S. Bailey with $2. Says, say what you will about Addy. At least he tried. Addy. I fucked up. Joe Rogan with $30. Or with $2, I'm sorry. He says $30 karaoke. Yeah, we'll end the show with karaoke for $30. Adam Simon with $2 says, we love you on YouTube, Vadam. Oh, God damn it. And then Vadam with $5. The Jews were spewing us all with policies and stealing our money. Hitler was right. You guys, how many times have I told you not to encourage him? And what do you do? What do? You fucking encourage him. $60 away from tonight. Thank you guys so much for your generosity and your contributions. It's so easy with you guys. Thank you very much. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. I think, what are we at? 55 in the top spot and then 50 on down for the other 4 spots. Thank you very much. The morning show's been great. The evening show's been great. We're not even through the first hour yet, and you guys almost have this thing knocked out. Hey, appreciate it. Keep it going. I love those gifted memberships on YouTube this week. That's what I'm looking for. Adderall. Roots Calhoun says, Royston, that went right over his head. What did I miss with Addy? Oh, Adolf. Oh. Addy is Adolf Hitler. Okay. Honky says it all started because Kaiser Wilhelm didn't follow Bismarck's suggestion to renew the reinsurance treaty with Russia in the 1890s. Well, that and the French were still fucking pissy that they lost the Franco-Prussian War. And that basically collapsed France's government, and they needed a new one after Napoleon III caught a spanking from the Iron Chancellor. So that was a big part of it as well. Let's go to Brian. He says, just imagine if they allowed Russia into NATO back in the 90s when the USSR dissolved. Yeah. The Russians wanted into NATO. I mean, really, we could have just dissolved NATO. We could have just gotten rid of it and just, been friendly with Russia. But no, we had to. But here's the problem. If you do that, then you have no great big enemy. You have no, you have no big scary boogeyman to, scare the shit out of people with. That's the problem. So, if we let Russia into NATO back in the 90s, who are we going to scare the fuck out of people with? I know eventually we went with Islamic fundamentalism, but we didn't know that at the time. We weren't ready yet. Dub with $5 says another contribution. Thank you very much. And Joe Rogan with $20. That brings him to 30 for the night. Says DMX, bring your whole crew. I know a lot of DMX. I don't know that one. Is there any way you could pick a different one? Because if we do DMX, bring your whole crew, it's just going to be going like I'm not. There's a lot of DMX songs that I know. Bring your whole crew. I'm not very familiar with. We're back. I know that one. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate it. 45 away from today. But yes, I think the true bad guy of World War II, aside from Adolf Hitler, obviously, is Woodrow Wilson. If he hadn't fucked around and stuck his nose into that European war, we don't get a lot of the things that have become problems today. We don't get the Balfour Declaration. We don't get the Treaty of Versailles. We probably still get the Russian Civil War. That was probably going to happen. I mean, the Russian Civil War, the United States got involved on the side of the whites. The Reds end up winning. But, a lot of that stuff would have been mitigated a lot. Vidam with $5. Uh-oh. Vidam with $5 says, my brother lives down the street from April in Wilmer. Ryan the garbage man lives in Wilmer as well. I know, but, it just, look. We don't need to bother people. Nobody needs to do shitty things or anything like that. It's, look, that's a fucked up enough life. I mean, if you're like, this person deserves worse, they're living in hell. All right. That's a hell of their own. You don't need to go and make anything worse for anybody. Thank you guys very much. Toe Rogan, if you want to send me another suggestion, I do owe you one. We will end the show with it. Papa Shab, I don't disagree. Brian writes, Wilson also created the Federal Reserve, single worst president ever. Wilson also really regretted. Roots, that's fucking funny. I got to get away from the chat. That was Roots just had a line that made me laugh pretty hard. CJ with $2 says, doubtful we get to the Russian Revolution without World War I. Well, no, I'm saying by 1917, the Tsar had already collapsed. And the Bolsheviks had taken over. The Bolsheviks and the Mensheviks had taken over by 1917. So we would have ended up with that Russian Revolution regardless. But I don't know how. Well, or maybe the whites end up winning. Maybe the royalists end up winning the Civil War. That's a possibility too. Look, if we don't get involved on the side of the Allies, a lot, And so when like Hitler would complain when he's like the Jews that run, when he would be like the Jews that run the banks screwed Germany in World War I, that's what he means. The banks borrowed a fuckload of money to Britain and France, basically betting on them to win the war, and then recruited the United States to enter the war on the side of the Entente so they would beat the Germans and the banks could get paid. That was Adolf Hitler's biggest gripe. But Woodrow Wilson had this thing. Ooh, Nova, that's a really good theory. You should run with that one. Woodrow Wilson created the Federal Reserve, and then I believe he said, I fear I may have sold the country or something like that. Woodrow Wilson quote about the Federal Reserve. Allegedly, what did he say about the Federal Reserve? I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit. Our system of credit is concentrated. You know what was fun about Andrew Jackson, who I think was our last like truly ballsy great president? Andrew Jackson dismantled the central bank. And then the Supreme Court went, yeah, I don't think you can do that. And Wilson went, oh yeah, fucking who's going to stop me? You and what army? Fuck you, I'm doing it. Same thing with Indian removal shit. He wanted to move a bunch of Indians out and then settle kind of the southeast part of the country. And the Supreme Court was like, yeah, Andrew, you can't do that. He's like, fuck you, watch me. Like, he had a lot of swagger to him. He was extra constitutional as all fuck, but he had some balls. That's for sure. MSO says, and then they turned Woodrow Wilson into a soccer ball with Jew magic. Honky says, Woodrow Wilson's wife was the first female president for the last 2 years. Oh, yeah. Didn't he have like a stroke or something? And they said that he was like technically incapable of leading and they don't think that he was in charge. Well, they said the same thing about Ronald Reagan at the very end, too. Woodrow Wilson, I thought he had like a stroke. Yeah, suffered a stroke on October 2nd, 1919, leaving him incapacitated and significantly impacting his presidency. The stroke was a major event, and some historians speculated that it may have contributed to the United States' failure to join the League of Nations. CJ says, no, Tsar Nicholas leaving for World War I enabled the revolution. I know, but I'm saying, like, in the timeline I'm talking about, World War I still happens. So the Russians are probably still defeated by the Germans in World War I. I'm not removing World War I from this timeline. I'm just not putting us on the side of the Allies. All right. Joe Rogan says Alice in Chains Rooster. Well, that's going to be as embarrassing as all shit for me. But all right. Well, that brings us down to $40 for tonight. All right. So it looks like I'm ending tonight's show with a karaoke rendition of Rooster by Alice in Chains. You know, I can't even sing country music, which is like the most singable kind of music there is. Now I'm going to do like a whiny, whingy rock song. That's going to be way worse. Like you have no idea what you've sentenced this audience to. But thank you. You got us down for $40. You got us down to $40. Taste Fairy says, try to hit that high note. No. You guys are so mean. Honky, I just read you shit in chat. You guys are so fucking mean. I don't like that I have this attitude of being like this bully and I'm this mean guy and I'm this shitty dude. Most of my stuff is for laughs. I just poke people who take the internet too seriously. That's my gimmick. And then we make fun of the news and we say some outlandish shit and then we go home. You guys are the offensive ones. You guys are way worse than I am. And I got to take responsibility for you fucking cretins. Honky says, why not Man in the Box? Because he doesn't like Tommy Dreamer. That's why. He doesn't like Tommy Dreamer, so Man in the Box is a no-go for him. All right, kids. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, $40 away. Nice and easy. We've about got this thing done. About $350 checking out the toe right now. Hit thumbs up, hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. You guys want to watch this white girl tell us that we're not doing enough to fight for Mexicans? What? I find the shit. I don't make it. This girl wants to let you guys know that you guys are all a bunch of evil white colonizers, and you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. So we're going to play a 15-second video. We might play it twice because I want to make sure the message gets through to you guys, because a lot of times you guys have rocks for brains, and you chew granite for breakfast. And I don't want you guys to watch this woman and go, oh, she's a prison-tatted freak who clearly has daddy issues and doesn't have 2 brain cells rolling around in her fucking head. I didn't say that. You guys are thinking that, and I want you to take her seriously because she's got some biting commentary that I think you need to learn about yourself. Let's take a listen.
Y'all white people ain't fucking pissed enough for me.
Fair enough. So it starts out right out of the gate. I feel the same way about y'all white people. Is there any, I'll drop the act for a second. Is there anything douchier than a white person chastising y'all white people? Honestly, we should lock them all in camps. Not white people. I'm not trying to take away what's good. But the white people who sit there and go, y'all white people are fucking this, and y'all white people are that. It's like, okay, I don't mind if you shit all over your own race, but don't sit there and distance yourself from it like you're not a dopey bitch too. Y'all white people ain't pissed enough for me. I don't want to be pissed. I like my life. I like the direction the country's going in right now. We're slowly, look, it's not like 2016 when Trump first took over. This is a much slower turn, but it's turning. I like the way my life's going. I like the way my business is going. I like the way my show's going, my family, my partner. I love all this shit. My entertainment, it's going to get warm out. I'm going on vacation soon. Golf season is here. So don't sit here and tell me that I need to be more pissed off. Far be it from me, I don't want to be pissed off all the time. I don't want to sit here and think about Abreu Garcia. I don't give a fuck about Abreu Garcia. He's a gangster. Fuck him. We kicked him out. We did the right thing. So I don't want to sit here and be lectured by some daddy issue having pasty white chick telling me that I ain't mad enough. Suck my dick. I'll tell you, here's when I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad when the fucking Timberwolves blow game 2 and we got to win both games at Target Center to really get a stranglehold on this first round playoff series. Because we ought to kick the shit out of the Lakers again tomorrow night.
Y'all white people ain't fucking pissed enough for me. Y'all ain't mad enough for me.
God, get another fucking notice me tattoo, you junkie bitch. Sorry, it's too try hard. It's like the girl who says, I'm like one of the guys. It's like, none of us want you around. No offense. I have more guy friends than girlfriends. Here, you want to hold this red flag for me and just wave it as high as you can up in the air? And it's like one of the guys. Yeah, but you're not. You're no fun. Compared to us, you're not a good time.
They are sending people to the camps now. If you've ever asked yourself what you would have done, now's the fucking time.
The illegals that they're sending to the camps? Sweetheart, I'm glad you're sitting down because I have some news to break for you. I voted for that. I feel like Michael Rooker in Mallrats. I'm like, what? Angry? Hell, I'm as proud of these camps as I am this game show here.
Now, if you've ever asked yourself what you would have done, now's the fucking time. Now's the fucking time.
She didn't even turn on her fucking megaphone. She yelled into her $20 Kohl's megaphone. I know because I've owned that same $20 Kohl's megaphone. And she didn't even slide the button over to talk. She just yelled into a non-working megaphone.
Ask yourself what you would have done. Now's the fucking time. Now's the fucking time. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Now's the fucking... Y'all...
Neither of those mics worked, by the way. Your megaphone didn't work and your microphone didn't work. By the way, also, Miss, Roots Calhoun wants your number. Roots Calhoun isn't necessarily looking for whether or not she'd make a good partner. And Roots isn't looking at, whether or not the woman would stab him or not. Roots is really just looking at how likely is she to shame suck his cock. And Roots is probably looking at this one, doing the calculations and going, quite likely. Quite likely. Roots, am I wrong? Am I wrong, Roots? Fosifa says, camp sounds fun. Dive Bar says, spoiler alert, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. Nothing. Right. Root says 100, 100, 100. Add it, kid. Taste Fairy, yeah, I don't, any white woman who says y'all, I don't take them seriously. Unless you're like a waitress at a barbecue place in Texas. You're not allowed to say, yeah, what y'all having today? Y'all having some of our sweet tea? Yeah, just inject diabetes into my asshole. Texas doesn't get it. But white women who say y'all are the worst. By the way, Roots, I hope you mean that about the golf tournament. I hope you show up. I hope you come out to the golf tournament. I hope you have a good time. I was saddened when I learned that you weren't going to be able to make it to the anniversary show last year. You would have fit right in with all those crazy drunks shouting the N-word late at night. And we could have done some hip-hop karaoke, as the kids call it. But yeah, that woman, what do you think? Let's go one more time. Let me see if she can recruit any of you to her crusade. I just want to see if, I want to try and help her out.
Y'all white people ain't fucking pissed enough for me. Y'all ain't mad enough for me. They are sending people to the camps now. If you've ever asked yourself what you would have done, now's the fucking time. Now's the fucking time. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Now's the
She makes some very good points. She makes some cogent arguments, and I just, if any of you would like to join her, I mean, I'm sure that there's room on her bandwagon. They do understand that it's only been 3 months of this shit so far, right? Like, we got a long way to go. Got to prepare yourself. Like, you got to pace yourself a little bit. You got another 3 years and 9 months left of this shit. And that's before he changes the Constitution to get a third term. And he rules until he's like 85 or whatever. MSO, I love this line. He says, hey, Roots, bring your cousin Haystacks. I will always, you know what? Here, bonus points for MSO if he knows Haystacks Calhoun's WCW name. Come on, MSO. Be the wrestling fan I need you to be. Who was Haystacks Calhoun in WCW? If he gets this, I'm going to feel like way less of a dork than I actually am. No, Kloppo, it was not the Giant. Somebody's going to get it. I know I'm not the only fucking dork who knows this. No, not the Shockmaster. I think that was Earthquake or Typhoon was the Shockmaster. Yes! Taste Fairy Ialto. Loch Ness. Loch Ness. No, Trash Panda Bandit. It was not Hulk Hogan. That's close, though. That's very, very close. MSO says, I really don't know, but I'll take a guess. Wasn't it like The Gang or something like that? No, but Akeem the African Dream was also known as the one-man gang. So there's that. Bappa Shab says, wow, that fucking sucks. Oh, yeah, like early 90s to mid-90s WCW before the NWO, they had some of the dumbest shit ever. They had a couple of twins, or a tag team of, they got two guys who were supposed to be twins, and they wore orange, like one-lets, and then they wore orange masks, and they had bells on their chest, and they were called the Ding Dong Twins. That was one of their names, the Ding Dong Twins. And they also had a guy that they wrapped in toilet paper, and they called him the Yeti. Not the Yeti. They would always call him the Yeti. I don't know why. You could have just called him the Yeti. He was wrapped up in mummy toilet paper, And his finishing move was he would put his arms over a guy and just hump the fuck out of him. That was his gimmick. They thought that was good in WCW back in the early 90s. The Yeti. We have a clip of, oh no, we'd so get demonetized if we played. I fucking hate WWE. But there's a clip of the Big Show. Back then he was the Giant. And the Yeti. And they're double teaming Hulk Hogan. It's supposed to look like a double bear hug, but it really looks like the two of them are just humping Hulk Hogan. Fuck it. We have to play it. Hold on a minute. Yeti, Giant, Hulk Hogan.
And the Yeti! Look at the size of that man.
So there's Big Show hugging Hogan.
I've seen the end of Hulk Hogan. It was a good career. You had a great run, but it's over.
And it really just looks like two guys humping the fuck out of the Hulkster. I don't really know what that was meant to convey, but it meant something. A little over 300 of you checking out the toe at the moment. Thank you very much. Peaked out in the 350s tonight. That's very kind of you. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Throw us a couple of bucks as we're only $40 away from knocking out today's goal. Yeah, see, the chat's even saying he's fucking him. He's literally fucking him. It's really hard to show people shit like that and defend from the criticism that professional wrestling is gay. People are like, oh, you watch wrestling? I'm like, yeah, off and on my whole life I've watched wrestling. And they're like, yeah, but isn't wrestling fucking gay? It's like, no, it's not gay at all. And then you show some shit like, hold on a minute. Let me show you this one. Here. People go, hey, it's not gay at all.
You come in my face, I'm going to fight you. Well, you're not going to bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm going to eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
So that's gay and racist. Because he's black, it's got to be collard greens. And he's going to eat his ass. Both gay.
I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
That just sounds rude. I guarantee he didn't consent to that. So now it's rape, too.
Stretched before. You can hide behind that commissioner's stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
Doesn't even sound like you're doing it out of hatred, spite, or violence. It just sounds like you have an uncontrollable sex addiction.
If you don't think I'm big enough,
It's one of my favorites.
then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
That I would like to be single again and go to a bar and try that in conversation with a woman. I would call it the Jake the Snake Roberts pickup line. Just try it sometime. If any of you are single, you're talking to don't start the conversation with this, but just kind of as you guys are talking, it's going really well. Just lay this on her.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
And then see what she says. If she goes for it, fucking run.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time. If you catch my meaning,
I think you're saying that you're going to get a boner. Hawk. They called him Hawk the Cock back in the day. That's a really long-winded way to say, sometimes we get boners. That was the message, right? He's like, there's one part of us that ain't soft, that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. Like, basically, he could have shortened that up to, sometimes Animal and I get hard. But that would have been weird for the promo, right? Like that Jake the Snake Roberts promo could have just been, grab my dick, dude. It'll get hard. It's like, what? It's a really roundabout way. These guys get really artsy with their boner metaphors.
I'm in. I'm going to come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you.
That sounds like a nice time. You asking me out on a date, Magnum TA?
You and I getting it on like two men should do.
That's interesting. For you, boy. I'm coming hard.
Well, who isn't? Oh, shit. So for anyone who says pro wrestling is gay, I don't think you guys know what you're talking about. Yeah, Trash Panda Bandit says, how do you jerk into an ass? He said he was going to jerk a nut into his ass, right? I mean, an asshole, unless you open it, is like that thing, it's snug as a butt. It's holding the poop in. So it's not like you can just jerk and then the nut and then you jizz and then it goes into the ass. You got to open. Sam Show said he said jerk a knot into her ass. What? That makes less sense. At least jerk a nut into your ass is gay. Jerk a knot into your ass is just completely nonsensical. What are we even doing here? Taste Fairy Ielto says, you're so demonetized tonight. For which part? For playing the wrestling clips or for being really, really gay? CJ with $2 says, wrestling is gayer than two men blowing each other. Yeah, but have we established that that's gay? Yeah, you know what? Sam Show with a good point. Jerking a knot into someone's ass is gay, too. Like, we don't need to argue about whether he said nut or not. They're both gay. MSO says, you need a baldo to make that happen. Right, you really would need the baldo. Taste Fairy says, play Braun Breaker doing Steiner math while you're at. I would, but that one would get us demonetized. Mr. Me says, get PWR on the show, you coward. Do it or no monies. Well, who's P? Let me look at PWR. Let me take a look. I would love to talk pro wrestling with someone. PWR. 2.75 million subscribers. Can you survive 100 grenades? I don't think this is the channel you guys are thinking of. I think these guys are wrestling people. PWR wrestling teaser, Philippine Wrestling Revolution. PWR presents greatest gimmick wrestling match ever. Pro Wrestling Report. Is this the channel? Let's see. Their last thing was 1 year ago. I don't think that's... Yeah. You're going to have to send me a link. Grape Ape with $2 says, you're losing it, man. This is awesome. Hashtag Space Wars. What do you mean we're losing it? What, because it's not gay? It's totally fine? I disagree. I think that was anti-Christianity, if you ask me. And on the day, see, the Pope dies, the demons all escape, like when the containment unit blew up in Ghostbusters. All right, guys, let's get back into some other things. I appreciate the contributions. Very nice of you. 35 away from tonight. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. Thank you very much. Continue. And we'll call this another win for the toe before the night's over. All right, moving on. Hey, you guys are going to love this. This is great news. This is really awesome news. Anthony Fauci. You remember him? Great guy. Saved the country. Saved the world, really. We were all getting sick. We were all going to die. And Anthony Fauci came along and he said, hey, you know, if you guys just stand 6 feet apart and put a paper mask on your face, we're all going to live. And you know what happened? We made it. Everyone remembers the beginning of COVID when everybody was dying. Nobody was going to make it. And then here comes this Dr. Fauci guy, and he's got the solution. Just kidding. None of that ever happened. What Dr. Fauci did do is he knew that this virus had leaked from a lab in China, and then he did nothing to fucking contain it, made excuses, acted like it came from Chinese people eating raw bats and pangolins and shit, and then fucked us all over for about 2 years. and arguably committed crimes while he was doing it, while funding gain-of-function research, which was illegal, lying to the American people to cause them to stay in their homes, lose their jobs, lose their businesses. He's a real piece of shit. Well, his fortune doubled to $15 million between early 2019 and 2023 during the worst of the COVID lockdowns. I tell you, aren't you glad that this guy got pardoned and we'll never be able to hold him accountable for the shit he did? It's just great. Honestly, people get mad about this still. I don't see the point. You're just going to drive yourself nuts over something that's already over. I said years ago, I think I said even during COVID, I go, guys, nothing's going to happen to this fucking guy. They will protect him until the end of time. Like, don't get yourself worked up. Don't get yourself riled up by going, you fucking Fauci, we're going to fucking get Fauci. Especially once Biden pardoned him. That was it. Once Biden pardoned him, what we already kind of thought was going to happen is that this guy's just going to get to keep his money, live out, to a ripe old age, and he'll just have fucked not just this country, but pretty much the entire world over. $15 million his net worth went up to. He jerked a net worth into our ass. But that's the final calculation. According to records obtained by a watchdog group, Fauci's net worth was $7.6 million in January 2019 before COVID hit, and surged to about $15 million by the end of 2023. That's according to 141 pages of financial disclosure forms obtained by the watchdog group Open the Books. The doctor, who previously helmed the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, officially left the government at the start of 2023, later than previously known. So, wait a minute. They said that he was gone before the start of 2023 and he stuck around longer than that? Oh, fucking great. His first year of retirement was especially lucrative when he earned more than $3.5 million alone, the records show. Just keeps getting better. Dr. Fauci's assets soared during the worst of the draconian COVID lockdowns, while families and small businesses struggled through school closures and lost income, according to Open the Book CEO John Hart. I don't want to go too deep into this because I know a lot of you are just going to get mad. I know I get mad, and I'm the guy who tells you not to get mad at this shit, and this really pisses me off. Even though I know nothing was going to change, nothing was going to be different. And think about it. Trump could have fired him. In fact, there were people saying fire Fauci before Trump left office. He had until January of 2021, and people were already fed up with COVID by the end of 2020. And he could have cut him loose. He could have let him go because Fauci just kept recommending lockdowns and kept recommending lockdowns. I think Trump has as much to answer for on COVID as Biden does. Because Trump was supposed to be the guy that protected us from bullshit like this. Biden, it's almost expected because Biden is the deep state guy. He's the guy they installed in there to get rid of Trump. You could argue COVID was leaked from the lab to stop the Hong Kong protests and the Trump administration, because think about it. Peter Daszak, with money from the American government, went and funded this gain-of-function research in 2018, 2019. They did it in Wuhan. The United States of America, a company based in the U.S., and the Chinese were working on these viruses. China had the Hong Kong democracy protests where they were waving American flags and they were, talking about how they want democracy and all that. China needed that shit ended. The American deep state needed the Trump administration gone because the economy was going too well. People loved him. He was going to get a second term. This was unconscionable. So it's not that far of a stretch to say that the Americans and the Chinese may have worked together to release this thing to solve their problems. And it did, at least for a while. And this motherfucker made $7.5 million off of it. Oh, I tell you, if we lived in a more civilized time, I don't think I'm allowed to say what we would have done to him if we lived in a more civilized country. Adam Simon with $5 says, look up PWR DSP and you will find the channel. He is the king of the dents, an autistic superhero. Oh, all right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look-see. PWR. All I see is Keno Casino clips. PWR roast DSP on stream, calls Phil a freaking pothead. Is he like a pro wrestling dude?
He actually watches just our streams about PWR.
Yeah.
He's just libations than Phil because he's better. It's so crazy, bro. This is
No
the
wife?
fire content. There's no wife telling me there I can't be drunk on a Thursday afternoon. So
do my thing, and I hope you guys will join me. And we are playing Donkey Kong Country 2, the game. When I was 8 or 9 years old, peed myself for. So my parents.
This motherfucker for real? That's him? Does he talk about pro wrestling or? Because like every time we talk about wrestling, you guys are like, have this PWR guy on. This guy's insane. He's a weirdo. Like, I'm going to have him on. I'm not going to be able to get him off the show. He's just going to keep going and going and going and going. Somebody find me, like, get me a link of just him. Like, I like the Keno Casino guys. They do a really great job, but, like, they pause a lot like I do. And, you know, you're doing content. You can't just sit there and play a guy. Wait, that's Mark Lane? I love Mark Lane. The guy who plays with toys on his channel? I follow Mark Lane. That's not PWR, is it? I still get notifications about Mark Lane. This is a different Mark Lane. Now I'm getting JFK conspiracy theories. Now I've gone down an entirely new rabbit hole. What the fuck? Yeah, the Mark Lane wrestling show. That's this guy?
Dang, dang. And look out. Oh, and Ricky the Dragon, Steamboat.
Was he doing a sea guy? Was Ricky the Dragon doing a sea guy? What the fuck? That's a gimmick change for old Rick.
Steamboat, immediately with the flying clothesline to Randy Savage.
Count,
1, 2.
Oh, we got to kick out. Okay,
And
I was going to say, it's going to take more than a flying clothesline to stop Randy Macho Man Savage. Quick question. Did anybody ever buy Mark Lane a ring? He needs a ring.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage, got the show up at 2. And look out. Oh, and...
Oh, that's a severe head injury. Jesus, Mark, could you protect these guys a little bit? Hey, guys, I have a question. Do you think Mark Lane's autistic a little bit? Just a question. It can be. I want him on the show now. I like this guy. He's likable.
And here's the pile driver.
I want that in the bedroom for SP. I want to tell SP, here comes the pile driver, and then hit an applause.
And here's the flying elbow drop. The flying elbow drop.
Gotta clear your throat.
1, 2.
Oh, he did not just come on, Mark. A little energy. He just kicked out of the flying elbow drop. Nobody kicks out of that move.
And Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat, got the show up at 2.
Oh, that's of course.
And look out. Oh.
The fuck
and here's the Super Frankensteiner.
Oh, a super. Guys, not a Frankensteiner, a super Frankensteiner. That's got to be it. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
And Randy
clap.
Savage.
Do the clap.
Still kicked out.
Do the clap.
And here's a drop kick.
What the fuck? Yeah, they like that. The crowd likes.
Oh! And here's another flying elbow drop.
This is the great.
One,
two,
and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat still kicked out.
Not to criticize you, Mark, but I think you've booked yourself into a corner here. If he kicks out at 2 flying elbow drops, what's it going to take to beat this guy? Oh, they liked it. Oh, sorry.
And look out. Oh, and here's another flying clothesline.
Oh, there's a pin. One, two,
2,
3.
3.
Oh! Oh, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat!
Here.
Get the fuck out of here. He is not using a Mr. Microphone to announce the winner. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Here is your winner.
Clear your throat.
Of the Legends Falls Count Anywhere match.
That's why there was no ring.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
It's a big W. All right. Numero uno, whoever wants to get in touch with him, get in touch with him. Tell him Steel Toe wants you on. We want this guy on our program post haste. Mr. Me with $2 says PWR World at Pro Wrestling Reality. All right, go follow him. Vadam with $5. The Jews invented circumcising little boys after birth. The Jews getting circumcised should be against the law, says Vadam. Well, a lot of people would actually agree with you there, sir. Adam Simon with $5 says Aaron PWR did a stream where he performed a leg drop on a pillow, imagining that the pillow was Ethan Ralph. You would love this kid. He's golden. That's fantastic. Loaded Wrench with $2 says we need a DNA test. Is he Aaron's lost kid? I mean, I don't think I have. I think all my children are accounted for. So I don't think so. Papa says that PWR might be too cool of a guest for me. Tim Bullinger with $1 says that guy is gay. You see, Tim Bullinger is turning into a Steel Toe fan. He used to send in money so he could call me gay. Now he's calling the other people we feature on the show homosexuals. So that we're starting to get somewhere with Tim Bullinger. All right, guys, we're only $25 away from tonight. Awesome. Thank you. Continue on. We appreciate it. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, etc. 25 away from a perfect Monday. This was an easy one. People were writing in this morning, and they were going, oh, yeah, Mondays used to be really difficult until Johnny didn't show up. That's not the case. There are some Mondays where they're nice and easy with Johnny, too. It just, depends on the day. We'll prove it tomorrow when Johnny's on and he knocks it out of the fucking park. My lost interest. Oh. Lane, your dinner's ready. Ma, I'm playing with my wrestling dolls. I'll come up when I'm done. Lane, come up. Ma, I gotta do this now. Oh, Taste Fairy Ialto, are you serious? Orton just dropped Cena with an RKO. Looks like it's on at Backlash. Come on. But they're going to feed Randy Orton to Cena. He's not going to lose the belt right away. Fuck. I want Orton to get another run with the belt. I'm going to say this. I've always been a bigger Randy Orton guy than a John Cena guy. I, too, hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. All the lawyers are defenseless. All the doctors are diseased. All the judges all are guilty. Oh, no, I fucked that up. The preachers are all sinners, and police just take the grease. All the judges, they are guilty. All the bosses, you are fired. All your banks will have losses. Politicians all are liars. Trash Panda Bandit says, you're still really cool. Clopogram says, Aaron, stand up. No, you just heard him. Orton dropped Cena with an RKO. I'm hard as a rock right now. I stand up, I'm knocking that water over. Tim Bollinger clarifying with $1, Aaron, you can both be gay. Oh, okay. It's good to have you back, Tim. I was worried we lost you there for a minute. $25 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much for your generosity. Should I just, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just get it over with. I was going to watch the Raw after WrestleMania after tonight's show anyway, but now I just got to go Orton, Cena, and I got to see if Taste Fairy's lying. Oh. Now, I can't show you guys this or I'm going to get in trouble with WWE, but I'll spell it out for you. John Cena's ending his promo, and he's holding up his championship belt like, yeah, the champ is here. And Randy Orton standing right behind him.
My God. Shit.
Oh, John Cena goes, shit. And there's Randy Orton.
Shit. RKO out of nowhere.
I love Randy Orton. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm a little gay for Randy Orton. And I know what you guys are all going to say. A little? Yeah, that's all I'm willing to cop to at this moment. Miss Tay with $5 says, I still believe in Joe Hendry. Dude, that was fucking awesome. Last night, the Joe Hendry, Randy Orton thing, two of my favorite guys out in the ring. I thought it was awesome. Dude, I'm so fucking cool. My girlfriend is over and everything. We're straightening up the house. I've got WrestleMania on in the background because my daughter and I are texting each other during WrestleMania. We're talking about the matches and everything else. Like, her mom doesn't really give a shit about wrestling. I do. So we're just, we watched a little night one, and then we were texting during night two. And that's how it works in my family. You see, the custody agreement goes, one of us gets one night of WrestleMania. We got to split WrestleMania. It's in the contract. It gets to be too heated if we don't have it in black and white. But we were texting during it, and SP and I were just straightening up around the house and cleaning up the area. And I was doing dishes. She was doing some kind of, she was straightening up the kids' art shelf that they have. And Randy Orton was out, and I'm like, I got to stop because I love Randy Orton. So she sees her 38-year-old boyfriend, who she loves very much and very much adores and loves being with. She actually saw me mark out when Joe Hendry came out. Like, when the doors opened and this music hit, I went, oh, shit!
He appears.
You want to feel like a man in front of your woman. Hear a pro wrestler's entrance music hit and go, oh, shit! And then just kind of look at your girlfriend and go, and if she's still there, she loves you. If she runs, she's smart.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Everybody.
'Cause they love him in London and Paris and
Tokyo, America, Scotland, and Canada, and Mexico. They say,
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Wait, I can do that.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Wait, that was the hurricane at the end there. I did the hurricane. That's not how you do that. Hold on, I can do it better.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. 'Cause they love him.
If I'm not the hottest fucking guy on YouTube, you're all gay. It's just the way it is. There's no more arguing anymore. I'm the fucking coolest. Miss Tay with $5. I still believe in Joe. We all still believe in Joe Hendry. Thank you. And CJ with $2 says, can you translate that into heterosexual? Not a chance. Not a chance. So now what are we at? We're at 20 bucks. Get the fuck out of here. We're 20 bucks away from tonight's goal. Thank you, guys. Finish her up. Call it a win for the toe. Let's see what the audience thought about that little show that I just put on for everyone. Trash Panda Bandit says, like I said, you're still really cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Takes a big man to admit that. Sane Caesar says, we are getting Randy Orton versus John Cena at Backlash next month. Let's go. Well, that'll keep my Peacock subscription for another month. The only issue is they're not going to give my boy Randy the belt, and that's bullshit. Wait, they should. Because if they give Randy the belt, that's what, his 15th championship? He can threaten John Cena's record. Baba Shab says, did SP peg you before or after WrestleMania? Why does there have to be an or? Miss Tay just wrote, oh no! I think it's because she got so horny when I did that. Yeah. Klopogram says, oh my God, I'd love to ask what goes through her head when you do this shit. Probably that she's got like the fucking hottest guy in the world. She probably calls Ricada and says, thank you for being a fucking crazy lunatic, mentally ill psychopath drug addict, because it set this man free to be available to me. And that's wonderful. Leo with $1 says, I don't watch wrestling, but frequently have that song in my head because of you now. You're welcome. I think you meant to say thank you. My Lost Interest says SP is now sitting in a puddle. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't? A lesbian. That's who. I got more people writing in with the John Cena, Randy Orton news. Hey, keep sending that over. Mustang Artie says, just made our night playing Joe Hendry. Hey, you got it. You got it, buddy. I'm here for you. Tim the Toolman Taylor says there's nothing amount of straightening one woman can do to make up for the amount of gay this man produces while watching wrestling. Kloppo says, does anyone remember Aaron saying his kids got him back into WWE when we all know he never left? I did. I don't know who a lot of these new guys are. I don't know a Damian Priest. I don't care. The Usos were nobody when I was last watching. I'm wondering where the fuck Braun Strowman is. Bray Wyatt's fucking dead. The Undertaker's gone. Triple H almost died. It's been a while for me. I don't know. That whole thing was just fun for me. I could do the Joe Hendry spin around all day if need be. Tim Bollinger with $1. In case you didn't know how he felt earlier, he writes, wrestling is gay. He does feel that wrestling is gay. We $20 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your contributions. Let's finish it up. Here you go. I've got some Michael Rappaport today. You know, Michael Rappaport for me is up there with like Owen Benjamin. He's oh no. All right. Well, that's too bad. Anyway, sorry, my baby just wrote to me and said she wasn't feeling well. I hope it wasn't the Joe Hendry turnaround. That sucks. Anytime anyone ever gets sick who's around me, I always wonder if I did it. I always wonder if I got them. Even if I'm not sick, I'm like, whoa, no shit. What did I do? I always feel bad when other people get sick and I assume that it's my responsibility. But Michael Rappaport for me is like Owen Benjamin. I watch him, whereas Owen knows he's funny. Owen knows he's kind of being silly. Michael Rappaport is like, he's just balls to the walls serious and he loses his mind and he's got that Irish temper and he just goes fucking bananas. And he doesn't realize how entertaining he is to watch. Michael Rappaport went on a rant against Joe Rogan. And I really can't imagine a more mouse versus lion situation than Rappaport v. Rogan. But Rappaport fights it like a guy who's on Joe's level. That's what I love about him. Let's play some clips of this. I think this goes back to the Douglas Murray thing. The whole, Joe Rogan has people on to bullshit. And then Douglas Murray got mad because they aren't experts and they're talking about history and shit. But like, that's how Joe Rogan's podcast has always been. It's always been like, we're going to be on, we're going to bullshit, we're going to talk a bunch of smart shit. It's always been dumb people talking about smart shit. It's never been like, we're going to have this professional on and he's going to explain to us the exact ways of this shit. It's always just weird outside the line stuff. Like, if you want experts and professionals, go watch CNN, go watch NBC, go watch Fox. They'll put on all the experts. They'll put on all the guys who tell you exactly how you should think, exactly how you should feel. You want to hear some wild shit? Turn on Rogan. Let's see how Michael Rappaport feels about that.
But Joe Rogan, be like, it's an open discussion. You know, we're just floating ideas. We're not married to them being facts or not facts, and they don't have to be experts. We're having a talk. We're just having a talk. I'm smoking a cigar. Sometimes I smoke weed. We're just talking. That's Joe.
Yeah. I don't know why you're saying that like it's a bad thing. That's literally just what you just explained Joe Rogan's podcast, which is why it's so retarded to the rest of us that people like you get upset about it. Because he literally says up front, like CNN, what bothers us about the mainstream media is that they present themselves as unbiased news and they clearly have an angle. Whereas Joe Rogan goes, hey, we're just retards talking shit. We're going to say that right up front. There's nothing wrong with that.
Joe Rogan series, and it's great for everything except for facts. It's great for everything except for people that are disparaging week after week, podcast after podcast, and not telling the truth and the reality of what has happened October 7th and beyond. So you bring on,
it's only the Jew thing. That's the other thing. Only when Rogan only started catching shit for two things. When he started questioning COVID and he started questioning Israel. Only then did people start jumping down his throat. Outside of that, even when he had Trump on, they didn't give him as much shit. It was looked at as a revolutionary idea by Trump that he would go on these podcasts like Aiden Ross, like Barstool, like Rogan. Only when he questioned COVID and questioned Israel did people really start jumping on him. Look, man, I don't like people who are on Hamas's side, but I don't mind people who criticize Israel. I think both of those two groups are scoundrels. They're both terrorists and scumbags. I say we ought to let them fight it out and we'll deal with the winner. We'll try to have some kind of diplomatic relationship with whoever comes out on top.
one scumbag after the next scumbag. And they say, well, I'm not an expert. I'm a comedian. I'm not an expert, but I know this. I'm not an expert on Hitler, but I'm not an expert.
We're all allowed to have takes, dude. If they're shitty, someone else can play it on your podcast like we're doing with you and criticize the shitty take. When did this, like the internet's whole thing was supposed to be, it broke down the barriers of entries to be able to have an idea about shit. And that was the point of the internet, the free-flowing share of ideas, unless it's about the government or Israel. Hey, what's your favorite Batman comic? Yeah, I guess you can fight about that forever and a day. Nobody gives a fuck. But if you want to talk about Israel or history or challenging the narratives of things, apparently that's not what the internet was invented for. That's only for experts to create an Overton window. Here's an acceptable spectrum of how you're allowed to discuss these things. And like, and again, what's Michael Rappaport a fucking expert on? Oh, he's wearing a Star of David. He must be an expert on Jews. Like, all these people giving Joe Rogan shit are not experts. Douglas Murray is not an expert. I think he's a journalist, is he not? So therefore, he's the exact opposite. He's a guy who talks to experts. Douglas Murray, not an expert, criticizing Rogan for not having enough experts on. Michael Rappaport, not an expert, criticizing Rogan for not having enough experts on. Go watch Rogan talk to a guy who's not an expert. Watch their discussion on Israel. Then go watch some fucking Zionist. Then go watch H3. And go watch Ethan Klein suck Israel's dick for 3 hours. And I don't even mean that facetiously. Just go ahead. Get your balance. I don't like that all these people remove all responsibility from themselves to find their own balance in these issues. Joe Rogan doesn't have experts on. Then go fucking watch an expert. Nobody's stopping you.
Expert on Churchill, but I'm not an expert on the conflict in the Middle East, but here's all of my thoughts. I'm a comedian, but we're not going to do any jokes. We're not going to talk comedy. I'm just going to expound on all my thoughts.
That's what comedy is. You're expounding on your thoughts. Pryor, Carlin, Bruce, Hicks, Kinnison, fucking Seinfeld even, Leno. They wanted to know what was the deal with the airline toilet paper. I still don't know what the deal is. I'm not an expert.
Joe Rogan will have all these people come on and talk about history, Israel, Jews, genocide, animosity. But if I came on Joe Rogan, I was like, Joe, I'm an MMA fan. I've never been in a ring. He would say, have you ever, like worked out MMA? No. But do I have to do it to be an expert? Do I have to actually spar MMA? Can't I just, it's my opinion. I've talked to some fighters and, I might.
By the way, that's what he's describing right there to try and make his argument is totally fine. You think Tony Kornheiser has been in a professional boxing match? No, but he can have takes on boxing. He's never been a professional football player, professional basketball player. But you watch the fucking game, you got eyeballs. You watch the fight, you've got eyeballs.
My brother and I, we used to pillow fight, Joe. My brother would use the heavy pillow. And when he hit me with that heavy pillow a couple times, it hurt. So I know what it's like to get hit in the head. Not like by John.
You don't have to know what it's like to get hit in the head to have a take on what you watch and see. As a matter of fact, setting this barrier to entry to have an opinion, in my opinion, is very anti-democratic. The whole point of having a free and open democracy in a society is that everyone can just talk a bunch of shit. And we trust each other to be smart enough to sort out the bullshit from what's real. Gives you something to think about. I can't play much more of Michael Rappaport. I just get annoyed. Plus, we got to get to the Shannon Sharpe stuff. Bappa Shab says, I want to hit him with a pillow filled with bricks. Rappaport is like, he is a guy who just goes right off. Like, he just, there's no thought to it. There's no, Miss Tay says his Star of David is way too small. Oh, no. Sam Show says Johnny's on Digger's show and he looks like shit. Oh, that's not good. I hope he's feeling better. I hope he's feeling okay. Johnny looking okay on Digger right now. Guys, you got to leave Johnny alone. Like, he likes a girl. Like, let him take solace. Like, let him have some happy things. Quit trying to come to me and tattle on him like I'm going to have him, like he's going to be in trouble. Like, Johnny is on Digger's show. It's fine. He likes Digger. They like each other. He's smitten. Papa Shab in all chats. Call him gay. All right, people want me to snipe Digger. Do me a favor. Knock out the $20. We'll snipe Digger and Johnny. That's the deal. I'll trade you. $20. We'll snipe Digger and Johnny. Loaded Wrench says, fun fact, David never had a star. Well, he's got all of them on the Walk of Fame now. Aboliticia says, Digger is perfect for Johnny. Leave them alone. Yeah, like, and it's not like Digger is behind the scenes going, Johnny, you should fucking quit Steel Toe. It's shitty. Like, Johnny makes money on his stream from being on Steel Toe. Like, that's, and I'm an idiot. When I started this thing, instead of paying these guys as much as I did, and it was a lot, I should have just told them, because I didn't use the business strategy of, hey, I'll pay you what the market says you're worth. If nobody's offering you money to do a show, here's what I'll give you. What I should have done is I should have told all these guys, we're creating a Steel Toe network. And I could have got by with just doing a morning show, and then all those guys could have had shows on the channel all the rest of the day and kept all of the money. And they could have made as much money as they wanted. And I could have done it that way, and I think we probably would still have the band back together, and I would have pocketed a metric fuck ton of cash. Jesus Christ. We wouldn't have had to do evening shows. Oh well. Digger does have a nice rack, one person writes. Well, it's important to... Yeah, Miss Tay says, eat what you kill. I should have gone with the Gavin McInnes approach and told these guys, look, you guys, go ahead, do your thing, be on the show. I love having you guys on the show. And then we'll promote the fuck out of your streams, and you can do them on this channel, and we'll, you can have the, tens of thousands of people that watch this every month. They can watch you, and we'll have an all day. It'll be like a 24-hour Steel Toe stream. I can have a show. Oz can have a show. Johnny can have a show. Corey can have a show. You grab that Patrick who we had from I'm Not Right. He could have a show. And you could have run that thing 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m. You could have run it till like 7 p.m. Could have run it for a while. But oh well. Root says Johnny is absolutely fucking done once Digger finds a functioning adult man. You guys are mean. Yeah, I guess if you guys want to knock out the $20 we got left, I'll do some sniping of Digger and Johnny. I hope Johnny's feeling better today. The only thing I hope he doesn't do, I hope Johnny doesn't stay up till all hours of the night and then he's like tired and shot to shit for the morning show. No, Bapa Shab, we would not call it the Dying Faggot Podcast Network. That's not what it would be called at all. That would be quite frankly, a terrible name for it. About 300 of you checking out the toe at the moment. Go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Atomic Ray with $10 says Aaron DeTires is becoming Aaron Pegleg. Can I get a shout out for his YouTube channel? I know Jews, but this is for him to reach 1,000 subs to be monetized. You Jews don't suffer enough. He is on now. What do you mean? Like Aaron DeTires is losing a leg? I hope that's not true. CJ with $2 says, how'd you and Johnny meet? Sorry, Oz and Corey sucked. I love doing a show with Oz and Corey. I did. But Corey could be frustrating, but I always love doing shows with him. He always had something to say and somewhere to go. Wow, so really Aaron DeTires lost a leg to frostbite? Fuck. That sucks. CJ said, how'd you and Johnny meet? Well, actually, Johnny was in the hospital. He had gone through a bad mental health situation. He was thinking about ending the whole thing. And he reached out to Adrian Washington because Johnny really wanted to become a comic. Adrian was on Steel Toe. He was very well known in comedy in St. Cloud at the time because of the show and everything else. So he reached out to Adrian, and then Adrian told me about him and said he wants to be on the show. And I had Johnny on, and then we said, hey, why don't you come in? Because the station didn't pay anybody anything. They paid everybody like $9 an hour to co-host the show. So Johnny came in, and I said, why don't you just come in every Monday or Wednesday or whatever it was? And he just started coming in, and he'd showing up, and he'd work his ass off, and he'd try really hard for you, and that's all you can ask for. Vadam with $5 says, Digger is hot. I hope Johnny marries Digger. Well, there's that. There you go. He hopes Johnny marries Digger. All right, 11, 12. We're $8 away from knocking out tonight's goal. Thank you very much. $8 away, and then we'll go check out the Digger and Johnny stream. Sam Show says she's obsessed with Legal Vices, but he didn't really even know who she was. She paid to be his mod. Isn't Legal Vices, didn't he pass away recently? Says she's obsessed with Legal Vices. I thought he was... Am I thinking of somebody else who died recently? I can't remember. Oh, no, they're saying, yeah, that's the guy. Okay. Yeah, $8 away. Knock it out. We'll go watch Johnny and Digger. Otherwise, I do want to get to this Shannon Sharpe thing, guys. Thank you very much for your contributions. Thank you. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. So Shannon Sharpe had some really great news. And then that great news got co-opted by a grape allegation and a lawsuit. Vadam with $1 says $1 at a time. Let's go. All right. If you want to do it that way, that's $7.20 away from tonight. There you go. They always make me do math when they do it this way. $7.20 away from tonight. Thank you very much. Leah says yes, $1 at a time. I can't wait. 70 cents on YouTube, 80 cents on Rumble. That's all I got to remember. And I got it. So Shannon Sharpe got hit with a lawsuit right after he announced that he was getting a $100 million podcast deal, I think from ESPN, right? So now he's being sued for $50 million in damages. And look, to me, when somebody goes with a lawsuit rather than criminal charges, I'm immediately suspect. I my immediate question is, well, why didn't you go to the police? Why didn't you ask the cops to help you out with this whole thing? But even when you do that, people go, oh, how dare you be skeptical? You should just support her and believe her. And it's like, even with this Diddy shit, I've seen too many women lie and sue and try to get on the gravy train only to recant later. And, during the Me Too movement, there were too many people who just straight up lied about what they were accusing someone of, that when your first thing is to go for money rather than justice, I call it into question. I really do. I just call it into question. So this Shannon Sharpe thing, not only is he being sued for $50 million for the R, but it's right after he announced that he was signing a massive broadcasting deal. So take this how you will. He just addressed it, and he said that it's all a money grab. He said that it's not. He's firing back at his accuser, calling BS on the allegations, while sharing some graphic messages he claims she sent that back his side of the story. Well, if it is bullshit, and I do believe it is. Oh, do you know who her lawyer is? Fucking Busby. It's Tony Busby, who's quickly getting a reputation of the boy who cried grape. He's the one who's been filing all these lawsuits in the Diddy thing. The minute a woman cries to him and goes, oh yeah, Jay-Z and Diddy, and he hears Jay-Z and Diddy and the dollar signs start going off in Busby's head, and he just starts filing lawsuits. He's had to pull back 2 or 3 of these lawsuits already because he got a little overeager. And now he's representing the woman who wants to go after Shannon Sharpe. This Tony Busby is, to me, a real ambulance chasing piece of shit. He added the woman's claim is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations. He's got some texts here. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at these. She sends him one. I know you miss this big juicy ass. 25 grand for each cheek. And she sends him a picture of her ass. There's another text. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Jesus Christ, Shannon. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, this chick totally didn't consent. You know what? Throw this shit out right now. I was tiptoeing before. I was like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm totally calling this woman a liar. This is a money-grubbing bitch right here. This is a complete money-grubbing hoe. Is what it is. Shannon, attaboy. Way to keep the text messages. This is like, honestly, dude, this is why whenever people start going, hey, believe all women, believe all women. I really do, dude. I try to believe all women, but I've known too many of them. It's hard to believe all women when you meet them and you talk to them and you read about them. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Do you not know black men, lady? Stuck with you for life. 18 years. He might just cut a check and say, vaya con Dios, good luck. So yeah, she's literally begging for it on his iPhone. $50 million. Get the fuck out of here. We do know that Shannon fucks, though. Like, he recorded himself fucking and accidentally live streamed it. Shannon still gives her. Yeah, Shannon's lawyer says these messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by the plaintiff. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by the plaintiff. Like, here's the deal. I just went through a case. And I'm not, like, Shannon doesn't want to share these. Like, if Shannon's anything like me, he doesn't want to share this shit with the world. I had to put some, and this is why I'm really glad this isn't going to trial, because there was some really embarrassing, humiliating shit that I would have no choice but to release. I would have no choice but to put it out there to defend myself. And it feels gross. It doesn't feel, I don't think Shannon Sharpe feels good about putting this shit out there. I wasn't going to feel good about the stuff I had to put out there. But you got to defend yourself from the bullshit. Luckily, everyone came to their senses, and because all I was asking was just let me admit to what I did. Don't make me admit to something I didn't do. And we did. We got to that point where they went, all right, $50, you admit to what you did. We call it a day. Great. Thank you. I appreciate it. But it's not fun to gather all these text messages or to gather photos or to gather recordings or to gather other shit and have to submit that and be like, well, this feels shitty. This feels dirty. But at the same time, your hand has been forced. Sharpe says, I want you, or no, this is the woman sending this to Shannon Sharpe again. Says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're fucking me. Yeah, that doesn't really sound like Shannon Sharpe's taking it against her will. Is that okay, that's the last one. Yeah, throw this fucking lawsuit out. This is a bunch of horse shit. Oddly enough, it comes right after Shannon Sharpe announces he's going to be making $100 million. Get the fuck out of town. Joe Rogan with $2 says karaoke. Okie dokie. Mr. Me with $1. Thank you very much. Aboliticious with $1 says Rumble allows 200 characters for a $1 rant. Stop wasting your money. What does that mean? Stop wasting your money. 150. That means we are at $4.30 away from tonight's goal. Oh, wait a minute. Anonymous fake dono with 87 cents. God damn it. Hold on. 87 cents. That puts us at 343. I did it. 343 away from tonight's goal. Thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, boys and girls. Holy shit. Let me write. Guys, we have to put someone down as a new first place. Give me 1 second here. We got some updates to make. And then I'll let you know what the holy shit is all about. Hey, you guys are going to have a nice and easy evening show tomorrow night as well. Just letting you know. Did you like tonight's easy goal that we hardly ever had to fucking mention? Yeah. You're going to like tomorrow's too. All right. I think there we go. Our top 4 is all updated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to Steven with $100.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
$100 from Steven. That means that we've knocked out tonight's goal and we're $100 into tomorrow night.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
It's another win for the toe. Thank you so much. MSO says fake. Now, I've never understood the rationale between like me faking a donation. Like, wouldn't I just be fucking myself over if I fake a donation? I never understood other than people coping with the fact that we knock out all of our goals and they need to put their head in the sand to pretend it's not true. I don't understand how I benefit from that. My lost interest says someone needs to explain the joke to Steven. What do you mean? Explain what? Oh, the $1 at a time? Yeah, we were so close. We were, $3.43 away? And you guys wanted to do it a buck at a time? Steven fucked that up. Steven says, Aaron, are you looking forward to the NFL draft Thursday night? I am. I don't know what I want the Vikings to do. I want them to, if there is like a stud left guard available at 24, I want to take them. If they're deep at guard and we can trade down into the second round and get a third or a fourth round pick back, I'm happy with that too. I'm more for trading picks, but if there is a stud can't miss offensive lineman and that gives us 5 potential Pro Bowl offensive linemen for J.J. McCarthy to throw behind, let's do that. But if there's a shitload of really good players that we can use and we can trade back 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spots and we can grab a few more picks because we only have 4, I'm okay with that too. Either way, we've put ourselves in a position where we can kind of draft the best player available. There was also a rumor today that the Vikings were thinking of giving the Falcons like $15-20 million in cap relief and then giving us Kirk Cousins as our backup and then giving us draft picks as well. Because the way this works is nobody really wants Kirk Cousins' contract. He makes like $45 million a year. Nobody wants it. Atlanta's got to pay him. They're stuck with it. They guaranteed it. What they need is cap relief. So if a team's willing to give them cash for Kirk Cousins, they will give them Kirk and draft picks for that cap relief. I think that's a great idea. We got ourselves a backup quarterback. We can cut him after this year. And we got a veteran who's familiar with the system. I think it's great. Miss Tay says, where's the Junkata goon clip for the 2x50? As soon as somebody sends me the Rakeda goon clip, we'll put it in our system and we'll play it for every $50 donation. MSO says Digger is off the air. Well, shit, we were supposed to go snipe him for the rest of the show, and then I have to do Rooster as karaoke. Digger 420. She's still on.
The old days, you told me about you was just taking a telephone book. Now I gotta actually question you can go fucking buy the book. Right.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I accidentally hit the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Oh, is she done?
The pinhole compared to...
It's getting bigger.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't like this. If I were Johnny, I'd be like, fuck you. Don't put these other dudes on with my chick. Get Kaiser Pineapple the fuck out of here. Kaiser Pineapple looks like a problem. Johnny just wants to be on with his lady, and he gets put on with a bunch of dudes. I'm going to tell you this. Always ask questions about a girl you're with who's always around guys. Not saying anything bad about Digger. I'm just saying, we talked about this earlier in the show. Any woman who's like, I get along with guys just so much better with girls. I think they're a problem. I do. I'm not saying that's what she's doing. Dub says, no BS. Watch Metallica guitarist salute Uncle Adolf for his birthday. I don't think he did, but let's see. Let's check it out. Go back. Oh, right there. That he's saluting. Oh, yeah, that looks like a Hitler salute to me. Well, here's the deal. We owe you guys a Johnny and Digger stream snipe. How's that? Whenever they're on, I have to drop what I'm doing. I owe it to you guys, thanks to your generosity. I got to go and clip them. Von Kaiser with $1 over on PayPal says, for Goebbels. Well, isn't that sweet? Isn't that kind? Nick the Milkman with $2 says, the new Third World Aristocrat bald clip is good. Well, maybe we check that out on tomorrow night's show as well. You guys have... Root says Johnny didn't show up the day after 420. Yeah, leaning on the MS excuse. Oh, conspiracy theory. Oh, Matt sent us a text. He said, stop thinking about letting people do a show on your channel. You tried that once. It didn't go well, remember? Yeah, the Savage Thoughts guys did a thing. And it did not go well. They got our channel suspended. Not good. It was not good. Thank you. Thank you, Matt, for letting me know. So yeah, we're not going to be able to do the stream snipe, but I do owe you one, and we will set you guys up with that whenever they're on again. And you guys want me to go on there and take a look, I owe that to you. So we talked about the Shannon Sharpe thing, right? Before we were so rudely interrupted by a deluge of money knocking. And by the way, you guys, if it makes you feel any better, you would have knocked out tonight's goal with $1 and $2 donations. with Nick the Milkman and Von Kaiser and the other ones that came, Aboliticious and the other ones that come in, you would have gotten the $3.40. You would have knocked that out. The 100 from Steven is icing on the cake. It goes to tomorrow evening. It looks like at least 2/3 of our evening shows this week are going to be nice and easy. Nice and easy. Thank you, guys. And Steven, I hope I answered your question satisfactory. I hope that was good. Vidam says, I miss the Steel Toe Network with content all day long. Did we ever actually do that, though? Because Corey was on his channel. Corey didn't do his show on our channel. Corey did Twitch Talk on the Corey Adam channel. And we did our evening show on our channel. I think all we ever had was Patrick on Thursday nights. Was all we ever had. So I don't think we actually ever pulled that idea off. Let's go to the Paul Heyman thing. So Paul Heyman was on the Pat McAfee show today on ESPN. Now, Shannon Sharpe is going to be an ESPN employee. He just signed a $100 million deal, I believe, to go over to ESPN. And Paul Heyman was on with Pat McAfee the day after WrestleMania live from Las Vegas. I'm sure everyone was totally not hungover. And Paul Heyman just decided to swing for the fucking fences. As someone said on Twitter today, Paul Heyman woke up and chose violence.
See, CM Punk does as much good to my reputation as Shannon Sharpe does to ESPN.
Oh, no.
If you don't think Paul Heyman is one of the greatest, I'm going to say this right now, and this is going to be controversial. Paul Heyman better than Bobby Heenan. Paul Heyman is better than, and Bobby Heenan was the greatest. I think Paul Heyman might be better.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. All right, see, all right, we don't need that. We don't need that. A lot going on.
Don't ooh me. I'm not the one getting sued.
Whoa, okay, all right. Whoa.
Do you think that Paul Heyman might have been a little fucked up? By the way, this was funny. John Cena said that WWE fans bullied him into a hair transplant. We have that clip, too.
Hey, that looked good, I thought.
Dude, it's coming in.
You did something different.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's coming in. It's coming in.
Yeah.
See, I listen to you idiots. I do.
Now, John, what's the secret? Because I could use a little bit of that.
You have to take the ones from the side and plant them in on the top.
Exactly.
You take the lawn over here and you put it on the dry spot. It just takes a while for it to come in. Yes.
It looked good. It has.
It's coming in, man. It's coming. Hopefully, a couple months it looks better. Hopefully, in a couple months it looks better than that.
I thought it looked great last night.
Yeah, I'm going out with a huge, like a long hair. Yeah.
So John Cena, if you don't know, John Cena had a massive bald spot in the back of the top of his head. And people noticed it, and they just were giving him so much shit online. So he had a hair transplant thing done. I got to be honest, I should look at how much it is. Like, could they even pull that off here? Like, isn't this all dead? Or do they really pull the follicles? Because I got a shitload of hair in the back and on the sides and on the top where it is. I got a fuckload of hair. I could take that shit and I could put it right in here. We could give myself a nice little even hairline. But then I feel like you guys would win if I did that. Would I be better looking? Sure. Would I look younger? Of course I would.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's what we're pulling.
Yeah, a little sticky maybe.
But I can't grow a mustache. I got nothing.
Well, again, we can figure that out.
I'll grow a little patch right here.
So, fuck John Cena's horseshit. I just wanted to play that because I'm bald. Paul Heyman had a few gems. He was ratting on Pat McAfee, saying that he's getting high as a fucking kite after the show, and that, oh no, numero uno Josh Denny fan. I just went on Twitter to find more of the Paul Heyman stuff. He's calling Rekieta out for not reading all of his super chats and his contributions the other night because they were very mean. I mean, that is his prerogative. He's allowed to do that. It's just that he's going to have to power through that. That's going to be a lot of the attention he gets, you know? I mean, look, man, your kid tested positive for cocaine and you were a junkie alcoholic who had to be forced by the government to stop drinking and doing drugs for 5 years. It's not. You weren't. I don't want to hear any bullshit from that lying sack of shit that he would have stopped on his own. Fuck you. Shut up. But I see that numero uno Josh Denny fan has given him a bunch of shit on Twitter tonight. Once numero uno can annoy the fuck out of you, he's very tricky, especially if you're like Nick and he responds to everybody with 3 followers. Like, I don't. If I don't follow you back, I don't see what you wrote to me because I don't care. I don't care to see it. Like, Nick, it's really important that a 3-follower, no avatar having person believes his tilt on what happened. And then he finds complete, like, wet-brained retards like Will Heron to buy his horse shit because Will thinks he's going to get an invite to the bunker. By the way, Will had an interview with Kay, who was at the court, and Kay just blasted Rekieta, said he's an asshole. The whole community fucking hates him. Even the people who work at the building, like the metal detector guy, he was like, you don't want to hear what I think about that asshole. And like Will was chopping the shit out of the interview and cutting it to pieces because he was on maximum sweeping duty. He pulled the interview. He pulled the video. It's not up on his channel. And then he said to someone, oh yeah, it'll be up in a couple of minutes. I'm just fixing the editing problems. I'll believe it when I see it. He could be telling the truth, but it wasn't up before I started the show. So there is that. Taste Fairy says, April used to follow me on Twitter, but Aaron doesn't. Leah says, Will is a moron. That shit's crazy. Vidam says, Nick blocked me on Twitter. I saw Gino got to him, and Nick had to block Gino. I mean, Gino was right about him the whole way. Gino was right about all of us the whole way. You got to, I mean, I know he's obnoxious, but you got to give him that. Aboliticia says, I used to like Will until he got gay. Bappa Shab says it was A1 nose guarding. I mean, he abandoned all journalistic integrity and just went full on nose guarding. My theory is that he got a shower call and was told to take that video down by his boss, Nick, and he did. And that shit ain't coming up. And if it does come back up, it's going to be even more edited and more clipped to death. Because she really, I mean, she was just being honest. You bring someone like that on, ask them to be honest. They're going to be honest. Let me see if I can find more of these Paul Heyman clips from McAfee. Yeah, somebody wrote Paul Heyman's definitely getting banned from ESPN.
Do you care about the opinions of people who are irrelevant? You don't care about the opinions of most people who are very relevant in your life. You don't care about the opinions of the people who pay you. They sit there and they go, hey, Mr. McAfee, don't talk about Shannon Sharpe on the air today. And you go, I talk about anything I want. I'm Pat McAfee.
Right.
Watch me swing my schlong all over the place. They go, McAfee, don't talk about your podcast on the air. What do you do? I'm King Schlong.
Okay.
Watch me, Pat McAfee. Right?
This is on you. This is about you, not me. Accurate stuff.
Right?
Accurate stuff. But
I mean, come on.
They're chanting Big Schlong.
Hey, last night when the roast was over and you and I were out back and you're going, wise man. By the way, it's puff, puff, pass, not puff, 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 chase down the gummy, puff, 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 pass, right? And you go, wise man.
Is it just me or is Heyman still drunk from WrestleMania night? I think he might be pulling a Danny DeVito on The View.
You know Stephen A. Smith really sucks, right?
Oh!
And I go, I love Stephen A. The man calls me the GOAT. The man, Stephen A. Smith, is on the air saying, if there's one person in the universe that I, Stephen A. Smith, at $70 billion a year want to be, it's the wise man Paul Heyman. And you sit there and you go, these ESPN bastards give me the same money as him or they can...
no, that's not true.
That's what I mean. Somebody tweeted today and said Paul Heyman woke up and chose violence. He did. He's on there blowing up fucking Heyman's spot. Or blowing up, what's it called? Blowing up Pat McAfee's spot. We have another win for the toe music video that Monograph made. This is what Monograph was DMing me about earlier today. He made a music video for me called Another Win for the Toe. I want to check this out.
As As far as the third world aristocrat video from today goes, I gotta say, huge win for the toe and a stroke of genius on my part.
I shouldn't be listening to this cold because there's certain things that could be in it that could get me in trouble, so I should probably... I tell you what, why don't I put the link up in the chat? I'll go listen to it later. I don't want to put something up on the show that could get me in trouble without looking, because Monty's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, Monty's great, but, like, he's got the lawsuit against Nick, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind just kind of, sticking one right in his side. And if it means mentioning something that I'm not allowed to mention, I don't know. Miss Tay says Aaron is aiming to get a chin like Paul Heyman. It's not even close. It's not even close. Dead Game says TV's Will Heron died, I heard. Oh, shit. I didn't know Will died. Again? Oh, Will keeps dying. Jesus. Poor Will. Poor Will Heron. People are calling me a chicken shit now. They're saying, pussy, pussy. Look, the link is in the chat. You guys can go watch it. It's called Another Win for the Toe. I'll play it tomorrow morning if it's cool. If it's safe for me to play. Here, I'll just tell him, thank you. I appreciate you. There we go. Thank you, Monograph, for making a song for me. I'm doing this thing where, like, people are calling me a pussy. So I'm like, if you're going to call me a pussy, I'll just fucking play the thing. But I know what I'm saying to not play it is the smart thing to do. And I shouldn't let you guys Marty McFly me into playing the fucking thing. I'll play it tomorrow. It'll be totally fine. We'll play it tomorrow and everything will be all good. You guys can check it out ahead of time. My Lost Interest says, Aaron, you can fix that chin with neck exercises or any exercise, really. But I do planks, 1 minute planks in between my heavy bag rounds. And sometimes I do the head up, head down thing, the neck strengthening stuff. I should maybe do it more. Maybe I should do it more. Leah says, you're being smart. I'm more of a lawyer than Nick, so you can trust me. I mean, shit, the way I worked him over in that divorce and the way my case went versus the way his case went, I'm a better lawyer than Nick. So that's not. And by the way, Leah, I'm sure you're right. I'm just saying we're setting a small bar. That's all. We're setting the bar low. Wow, Monty saying, I'm glad that you loved the song. It's a banger and fun, too. Aaron gets most of the credit for he inspired me with his likable energy. And don't forget the best-dressed entertainer, Alex Stein, was included, too. Okay, if Alex is in the video, it definitely might fuck me over. He does say, let me know what you think of the production. I absolutely will, sir. I absolutely will. Thank you. Anybody who takes their time to write songs for me, I mean, I gotta check them out, right? And I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great. All right, guys, I have to end tonight with Rooster. I gotta do karaoke. It got paid for, so I gotta do it. Oh God, 6 minutes. Can I skip the musical parts? Because we gotta get through this shit. Here we go. I really can't sing rock music. I can barely sing country music, so this is going to be bad. Here they come. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, here come the rooster. Yeah. Sing. I can't regular sing. You know he ain't gonna die. My voice is cracking all over. Damn you for sending me this. No, no, no. No, he ain't gonna die. Oh, thank Thank you. That song is so much music. There's not actually a lot of words in the song. Stick to Eric Church. Here come the loaf pig. You look like you have meat sweats. My Lost Interest says, is it normal for the ears to bleed? It's not. It's not. But I apologize. That's probably actionable. You can probably get money from me. Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. What a fun night. Tomorrow looks to be a fun night as well. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your evening. Go watch Raw or something, huh?